Yes,
That's
because
what
of
we're
his
talking
own
about.
personal decision. He's choosing to do that for him. And when you go through an unprecedented time in the history of this country, you have your own individual right to make your own decision about what you want to do for you and your family. I just respect that right. I'm not saying I agree with that right. I respect it.
All right then. You respect the right. I'm saying that you know. I'm saying that you know. Then you respect the right. I'm saying that you know. I'm saying that you know. I'm saying that you know. I'm saying that you know.
Welcome back to Calculated Confusion Exposed. Today we are going to be covering Kyrie Irving and his current fiasco with the NBA over the you-know-what. Let me preface this video by stating that I do not fully agree with how Kyrie is taking his stance. Not being completely firm with his voice. He could very well be controlled opposition because of his occultic ties. Also, whether or not he gets the you-know-what is not of my concern, but I stand with his views on mandates. If you want to know my views on the you-know-what, check out some of my recent videos that give more insight. Keep in mind that a lot of my content has to be carefully censored. But today we are going to cover this event not to talk Kyrie but to show how this recent event mirrors society. This mirrors the constant societal pressure and brainwashing of people to allow the government to make decisions for them. We will take a look at the NBA media, which is unfortunately setting a new norm on how people act and respond in regards to critical thinking of the you-know-what. Notice how hostile and forceful these clips are. Look how these clips reek of control-hungry, angry discussions that lack concrete evidence and sound reasoning. We will start with how they made Andrew Wiggins fold, and then we will round out the clips centered around Kyrie. Remember guys that most of these clips are from shows that should just be covering sports.
We are seeing that the ability of individuals who are infected through breakthrough infections, namely vaccinated people who ultimately get infected, that they are generally without symptoms or minimally symptomatic. However, it is clear that they are capable of transmitting the infection to uninfected individuals.
But Tony, Warriors training camp to switch to the NBA now. It begins next week, and there are some serious questions there about the status of Andrew Wiggins, because the Golden State swingman averaged 19-5 last season, but he's reportedly not been vaccinated. And the city of San Francisco, of course, requires proof of vaccination to attend large indoor events. So Wiggins could be prevented from playing home games. So,
Andrew, Dieter Kurtenbach with the Bay Area News Group. Hi. Do you anticipate being able to fully participate with practices on October 13th with your vaccination status?
I'm just going to keep all that private right now.
Janie again. Just out of fairness, people believe you aren't vaccinated, but if you would like to set the record straight and tell us one way or another, that I'm just giving you that opportunity.
Oh, no, that's all good. I'm just going to keep it private for now.
You're a pretty low-key guy, and obviously, you know, this is becoming a bigger story around here. Is this uncomfortable for you, just kind of what this has become?
No, you know, it's not uncomfortable. You know, I'm confident in my beliefs and, you know, what I think is right, what I think is wrong. Yeah, I'm just going to keep, you know, doing what I believe, you know, whether it's one thing or another. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Andrew, is there a dialogue in the locker room with your teammates? Are you explaining your decision or your choice with the vaccine, or are they trying to convince you otherwise?
You know, I'm going to keep that private. I'm not really going to put, you know, even if they did or if they didn't, I'm not really going to put it out there like that. You know, it's my team, so I'm going to keep it private. Back is definitely, you know, against the wall. But I'm just going to keep fighting for what I believe, and whether it's one thing or another, get a vaccination or not get a vaccination, who knows? I'm just going to, you know, keep fighting for what I believe, and what I believe is right. You know, what's right to one person isn't right to the other, you know, vice versa.
Andrew, you seem pretty convinced what's the reason for not just explaining what you believe?
It's just none of your business. That's what it comes down to. You know, I don't ask you guys about your beliefs. I don't ask you guys what you think is right or wrong. You know, we're different people.
We're trying to help you tell mass audiences why you apparently haven't done that, taken a vaccine. Does that make sense? What we're trying to give you a voice here.
You know, I'll say something when I'm ready. You know, the only thing the media has done is kind of make it bigger than it has to be. So, like I said, I'll say my side of everything when I'm ready. You know, I don't work on y'all's time, I work on my time, you know.
In terms of bigger than it has to be, I mean, you stand to lose a lot of money.
And it's my problem, not yours.
Okay.
He's opening the kimono, Tony. He's saying, I don't want to play basketball that bad in at least the state that I work in. And that is something that I think qualifies him as somebody that is a bad teammate and plausibly somebody who does not actually love the sport he's being paid to play.
Golden State Warriors forward Andrew Wiggins is still not vaccinated. As we well know, there are millions of people like him all across the country. Andrew Wiggins is putting the Warriors team in jeopardy. I'm not even talking about their health. I'm talking about their basketball aspirations. And don't tell me that Wiggins has probably just done his research. All y'all talking about research, pretending like you've ever before read the damn ingredients on anything else you put in your body. Stop it. Stop that lying. Andrew Wiggins has made a choice. He ain't vaccinated. Now the Warriors need to make the only choice they can make. Trade his ass. Trade him for a player who won't miss half their damn games. It's very, very simple. In case you haven't noticed, my patience is up.
We'll just start on what kind of, I guess, is the topic around the team right now. Are you having conversations with Andrew and just what's your just view of the situation?
It is difficult. I mean, you can ask everybody on the team. We'll have 18 different ways of explaining, personal decision, the sense of urgency of the decision, understanding what the potential consequences and fallout, is. At the end of the day, it is up to him. I think there's no secret to that point. We obviously hope that he has, all the right information, the access to the right resources to ask all the questions he has on, making that decision. We hope he's available. We hope he moves in the right direction. My opinion is, obviously, I got it and ready to be available and following, the mandates and whatnot. But that's kind of where it is, and the next couple coming weeks and how it all plays out is going to be entirely up to him. We obviously hope he's available and with us, and kind of go from there.
Kyrie Irving didn't attend the team's media day at Barclays Center Monday because of New York City's COVID-19 protocols, and he declined to discuss his vaccination status or his intentions in dealing with the matter. Last month, New York City's mayor issued an executive order that required New York resident pro athletes that practice or play indoors to show proof of at least one vaccination shot. On the West Coast, Golden State Warriors swingman Andrew Wiggins also not budging with his vaccination status. His request for a religious exemption was denied. Here they both are.
How we're going to start.
Steve, what's word on Andrew?
Andrew got vaccinated. He just told me today that it was fine with us acknowledging it, and that'll be the end of it.
So, Andrew, I guess we'll just kind of start with what's obviously been kind of in the news of the week. Is there anything you want to say just about the decision to go through with it and get vaccinated?
I feel like the only options was to get vaccinated or not play in the NBA.
Yeah.
It was a tough decision. Hopefully, it works out in the long run. And 10 years, I'm so healthy. But I guess to do certain stuff, to work and all that, I guess you don't own your body. That's what it comes down to. If you want to work in society today, then I guess they make the rules of what goes in your body and what you do. And hopefully there's a lot of people out there that are, stronger than me and keep fighting and, stand for what they believe, and hopefully it works out, for them.
What made it? Why didn't you want to get vaccinated?
I had COVID before. It wasn't too bad. And, getting the vaccination, also just, I don't know what it's going to do to me in 10 years, gene damage, whether there's no studies on whether or not it's going to cause cancerous cells. So I don't know what the RNA is going to do to my body. Also, there's a lot of stuff. I feel like I can go on, for days about why I didn't want to get it. Most importantly is just I don't know what's going to happen or what's going to do to my body in 10, 15, 20 years or do to my kids, future kids. But, I guess it's something I had to get done.
Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving, refusing to disclose his vaccination status today.
I'm a human being first, and obviously living in this public sphere, there's just a lot of questions about what's going on in the world of Kyrie, and I think I just would love to just keep that private and handle it the right way with my team and go forward together with a plan.
So Irving making that statement remotely, separated from his teammates, and because of local restrictions, he won't be able to play in home games unless he is vaccinated. NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is calling out vaccine deniers. He's writing about it in a Substack, and he quoted in this article in Rolling Stone, and we're going to talk about it right now. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, thank you so much. Thank you for being here tonight and for doing what you do. Can I just get your reaction to Kyrie Irving's statement?
I can't accept Kyrie Irving's statement.
A source is telling CNN that approximately 90% of NBA players are vaccinated against COVID-19. You think that the 10% should be let go?
I think they should be disciplined. I don't think that they are behaving like good teammates or good citizens.
I want to ask you one more question, and I think it's important. You've written about this quote: the dark reality is that those who promote hesitancy and more research have blood on their hands. Worse, the kind of conspiracy theories and pseudoscience pundits spread is the kind of selective science that white people use to justify enslaving black people. Elaborate on that, please, sir.
Well, the more ignorance that is spread around, the easier it is to confuse people about what's happening. So people who disliked Black Americans at one point refused to give them treatment. In this instance, we have people that are trying to confuse the issue and have people not use the available treatment because of who knows what reason.
It seems like it's at least being portrayed as a battle of the brainwashed versus the brainless. I would like to raise my hand. I'm brainwashed, I guess. Because if you're vaccinated, you're brainwashed. The government got you too. You got jabbed. And if you're like Kyrie, who's unvaccinated, not anti-vax, just unvaccinated, then you must be brainless. What are you thinking? And all that kind of stuff. Now, that's the portrayal. Let's dive into the deeper details. And to me, this is so deep that it's really simple. Everyone wants to throw out the term research, like they some damn professors and geniuses. I learned this a long time ago. If you're genius at anything, you're lucky to be genius at something, but you're not genius at everything. Calm your ass down. Stop trying to act like you can do this and this and this well. So whenever I hear someone say, I'm doing my own research, or I need to see the research, I'm just looking like, dude, how many times you gonna Google? Or are you really gonna go into the lab and start to do experiments on everything you've ever taken? Have you? Will you? If not, why start now? It's because...
What can you do? If you can't find him, F-I-N-E, if you can't find him, if you can't punish him, you're not gonna peer pressure Kyrie Irving. You're not gonna peer pressure Conspiracy Brother, okay? So they're stuck like Chuck with this situation, and what pisses me off, Michael Holley, it's one thing,
your why can be private. Your status as unvaccinated is the farthest thing from private. It is a very public matter, and it is a practical matter. You can't just say it's personal and private and leave it at that. This is selfish if you're choosing not to do it because it has a ripple effect on your team and the NBA. That's just in terms of your playing status, to make no mention of the fact that you could be endangering others by not being vaccinated based on whatever belief system you want to hold on to.
Nothing
What can you do?
Say. There's nothing I can
There's
say.
no more
There's nothing I
research.
can do.
What? Everybody's talking about like,
well,
research.
you know what it
I need to do more research. What research do you need at this point?
Well,
What
here's
research?
the thing. Here's what's so interesting.
You're dug in.
I tell you my position on why I think you should do it. Your counter, I already know it. Your counter is, well, where'd you hear that? And if I say the CDC, you say, why do you believe the CDC? If I say the government, you say, why do you believe the government? So it's really a war over. Yeah, it's a war over your belief system.
Why is Kyrie Irving believing that there are microchips? I'm starting to wonder if Kyrie Irving believes that the Democratic Party is involved in pedophilia and pizza shops and fixed elections. It's like, yo, man, like, why is whatever information you're coming up on more reliable than the information that scientists and epidemiologists actually have? But it's like, so there's nothing else that he and others like him can be told. When you got people like Andrew Wiggins saying it's none of your business, why he don't want to explain his side. It's none of your business. He said his back is definitely against the wall. I'm going to keep fighting for what I believe. What's right to one person isn't right to the other, and vice versa. It's like, and Jonathan Isaac, same thing in Orlando. Like, at this point, the research and the hesitancy and the Tuskegee Institute or the Tuskegee experiment conversations, that was before the vaccine was rolled out. The vaccine is what it is. The numbers and the data are what they are. This isn't a matter of research and trying to be more comfortable with it.
Says who?
No, I'm saying, like, there's enough of us that have been guinea pigs.
Let's understand something here, okay? And I openly admit to Keyshawn and Jay, I'm about to lose my mind over this, because if I hear one more dude talk to me about privacy, two things that gets on my damn nerves about this. Privacy, and I need to do my research. Really? How long has COVID existed?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been 2 years.
What
2 years in February.
What the hell do you mean? What have you been doing?
Up at the top.
Yes, Skip, you have them at your disposal, but you haven't talked to them. You go on the internet and read in these dark chat rooms where I heard they have you growing a third eye, or you might be growing a trunk like an elephant. Man, get out of here.
And Andrew concludes, hopefully there's a lot of people out there that are stronger than me and keep fighting and stand for what they believe, and hopefully.
So no way you're not strong, you front.
This is different because this is not a me thing, this is a we thing. Because the smartest people in place in our society in medical positions are saying vaccination is the only way. Dr. Fauci obviously is saying it's just the only way.
Right.
Masks and vaccinations are the only way to defeat this. If you had given me a list going into this of players that I thought would be the last holdout against getting vaccinated, you'd be at the top of the list.
He'd be the first one.
Because he is that guy. He is about conspiracy theories. He's about, as he gets derisively called,
or as he says, thinking outside the box.
Yes. He is world be flat. He is UFOs. He is Illuminati. And I love it that he thinks hard. He's got, to me, I don't know if they're IQs, but his would be at the top of the list in IQ. But sometimes his brain isn't attached to the kind of maturity that should be coming along as he goes. He's about to turn 30 years of age. He's 29. And my friend Tom House always talks about suspended adolescence, where you're never forced to grow up.
Right. There are enough people that you could talk to. If you, I want to do some more research. You don't want to do no more research. You want to get on Google. Kyrie is a walking contradiction. He also said that it's not about the money. And in the same breath, the next thing out of his mouth, you think I want to lose all this money? Well, if it's not about the money, why do you care how much money you lose? He says that I feel I'm doing what I feel is best for me. But you're on a team. When you play a team sport, you don't get to do what's in the best interest of you.
Yep.
Skipper, I'm a tight end. I want the ball. What's in the best interest of me is for you to throw me the ball all the time.
Every time.
I get all the passes, but that's not in the best interest of the team. I'm in a team sport. You play golf, Kyrie, you do what's in the best interest of you. You want to play tennis, that's in the best interest of you. But you can't do that. Everybody wants freedom. I got the freedom to say this. I got the freedom to do that. But what about the consequences? Freedom of speech, freedom of choice is not freedom of consequences.
It was classically delusional to the point that I kept saying, huh? 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 If I didn't know better, I would have thought he was punking us. Like he was just messing with us, and it was all comedy. It was all satire. Because that's the only way I can try to make sense of what was illogical and irrational and wrong-headed. And the truth is, it came off as flat out kooky in the end, just kookiness. If he wants to be a revolutionary, visionary voice for the populace, if he wants to be a deeper thinker, if he wants to look under every rock and make people aware of what's really happening out in the real world, I support that 1,000,000%. You're just not going to be allowed to do it within the confines of a team concept. A league that is just trying to stay afloat.
Right.
It's trying to protect itself and its product the best way it knows how, with the best scientific data, and that is to get vaccinated. It's clear as the nose on your face. That's the best way. You get vaccinated and you continue to wear masks in the confines of the team concept.
Basically, the net says, you can mess up your money, but you're not messing up our money.
That is because, in the end, he's saying, I'm neither pro-vax or anti-vaccine.
Right.
I'm neither one.
Right.
I just believe it's my duty in life to use my platform to support, to campaign for, to be a voice for the voiceless, all those people who are losing their jobs because of a public mandate. Time out. So help me out here. He didn't go deeper into that.
Right.
He is supporting people's right to say, hey, I don't want to get vaccinated, and I do want to be able to go back to my workplace and threaten the health and the very lives of the people I work with.
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. I support their right to do that. There's no way they should be losing their jobs. Yes, there is.
Yes.
I can only speak for me here. We're about to go into a situation where you're going to have to prove that you're vaccinated to even come on to this Fox lot upon which we work.
Or get tested every day.
Every day.
They know we was getting tested 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They said, nah, every day if you're not vaccinated.
If you're not vaccinated. And I am great with that because it makes me feel a little more comfortable. Right. I have been uncomfortable through the period in which we've had to come into work with some people who are not vaccinated because I feel a little threatened by that.
Right.
Let me start with the positive. I was glad to hear Kyrie say the public sphere as opposed to the public flat surface. So like maybe there is some evolution of thought on Kyrie's behalf in at least some areas. Unfortunately, not on this one. Listen, Kyrie, if someone has deeply held religious convictions that prevent them from embracing any part of Western medicine, I will never begrudge them that. But Kyrie goes to the knee surgeon more often than I go to the dentist, so that ain't it. And the reason that Kyrie or Andrew Wiggins or any of these guys are hiding behind it's a personal privacy issue is because they know that their opposition is a centimeter deep. That it's an indefensible position that they specifically hold. Then what is this other than a look at me, I'm so interesting because I've discovered something on YouTube that the leading virologists in the world haven't discovered in their lab? It's maddening. The last thing I wanted to be was a distraction. Really? Because I think the thing you wanted more than anything is for everyone to be talking about you and how interesting and how unique and what an alleged deep thinker you are.
He did admit, I don't know necessarily everything right now. I'm still learning. So maybe he's just not comfortable and he's learning. But I would say, Rob, this has been going on now for a while. And you could talk about research and all that. How much research? Really? Are you really doing that much research? Come on, man. Like, stop it with the research. All right.
You're not in the lab.
You might watch a few
You're not,
YouTube.
Exactly. Stop.
You ain't consulting
that ain't no
doctors.
research.
You're watching some videos, which, whatever.
And you don't.
Then why would you give up the sport you said in the video you've loved since you were in the 4th grade? Give up the, walk away from your teammates who've been counting on you to help them win a championship. Walk away from the organization that gave you $136 million and, by the way, is going to pay you $17 million this season. You're anti-vax. Just own it. Now, Rob, I'm not that, adamant either way myself. I'm not that adamant anti-vax. I'm certainly not anti-vax because I've taken the vaccination. But I'm not like that adamant about pro-vax, all that. But if that's how you feel, it's like, okay, I got to take this, then I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Shaq weighed in on what to do about Kyrie. Here's the big fella.
I would go upstairs and say, get him up out of here. Get him up out of here. We go in with a 2-punch and a great shooter and some rebounders like we got. Get his ass up out of here. Because now every day, I'm going to have to answer questions about him and what he's doing. Get his ass up out of here. Whoever owns the Brooklyn Nets, get him up out of here.
Wow. I want to start with you here, Perk. That's a really strong take. Obviously, we all know the talent, but it's starting to become some trouble with it as well. I know it's a big personal decision. What's your reaction to what Shaq just said, that they should get rid of him?
Well, you know what? Shaq is absolutely
with you
right.
guys and all this. I've lost a family member. I've had COVID twice. I get it. I just want to be careful when we start going down this road that we're going to act like Kyrie Irving being vaccinated or not being vaccinated is going to change the minds of millions of people. We start going down this road where we start. But I'm just telling you how it feels. Some people, Stephen A. When you start calling people stupid, or you start calling people saying that they're selfish, and these things start going all over the internet, that creates a different narrative, and people start fighting back against that narrative. I'm just telling you how it is on the other side, Stephen A. I know you have your thoughts on how you see things.
What's the other side? What's the other side? The point is,
I'm on the side of being vaccinated, man. I'm just trying to tell you.
I didn't say you weren't. We're talking about you're the one that took it there, Jay. We're talking about a basketball.
Yes.
We're talking about a basketball player who signed on to play for the Brooklyn Nets that has left his team hanging.
Yes,
That's
because
what
of
we're
his
talking
own
about.
personal decision. He's choosing to do that for him. And when you go through an unprecedented time in the history of this country, you have your own individual right to make your own decision about what you want to do for you and your family. I just respect that right. I'm not saying I agree with that right. I respect it.
All right then. You respect the right. I'm saying that you know. I'm saying that you know.
Okay.
If you sit up there, if you signed on to do a job, okay? And that's what comes with it. That comes with it. Now, I can get deeper and bring up the fact that the president of the healthcare system, virtual healthcare system in South Jersey, was the one that personally took me to the ICU unit. I didn't say you were.
You act like we've had a 100% vaccination rate in this country since the beginning of all illnesses have occurred.
You know what, Jay? You sound full of it, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm not full of it.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. You taking it somewhere I wasn't going. We could do that now. Any day you want, we could do that. But what I'm saying is, we're talking about Kyrie Irving not showing up for the Brooklyn Nets after he got guys to show up for the Brooklyn Nets. And here you go bringing up all of that other stuff. We can do that. We can do that. But I wasn't trying to do that. That's where I'm calling him selfish. You know, like questioning his right. He has the right to do it. He also has the right to go to hell away then. Retire. Retire then. Because you left your teammates hanging. That's my point.
Okay.